wonderful learners. How are you all? I believe you are doing well. I'm going to take you for English language on grammar. Today, we are going to look at adverbs of frequency. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to know the two types of adverbs of frequency and their positions in sentences. We learned adverbs of time in our previous lesson. What are they? We said adverbs of time are words used to show when an action is performed. We use words such as soon, now, etc. And we saw some of these words in sentences. For example, I'll be there soon. Good. Before we dive into today's lesson, let's take a look at our keywords. Our first keyword is frequent. Frequent. What does it mean? It means something which is done many times at short intervals. It means something which is done many times or at short intervals. For example, I drink water most of the time. Our second keyword is definite. Definite. It means something which is clear and specific. Something which is clear and specific. For example, December is the last month of the year. It is clear and specific. The next keyword is indefinite. Indefinite. It means something which is not clearly expressed or defined. Something which is not clearly expressed or defined. For example, I usually go to school. It's not clear. It doesn't tell us when I go to school or the specific time I go to school. Good. Adverbs of frequency tell us the number of times an action is performed. It tells us the number of times an action is performed. There are two types of adverbs of frequency. One, adverbs of definite frequency, and adverbs of indefinite frequency. One, adverbs of definite frequency, and two, adverbs of indefinite frequency. Adverbs of definite frequency, like we learned from our keywords, tells us the specific time that an action is performed, the number of times an action is performed. For example, I watch TV daily. I watch TV daily. It tells us that I watch TV every day or on a daily basis. It is specific. Adverbs of indefinite frequency do not tell us the specific time or the specific number of times an action is performed. For example, I always watch TV. The always there can be every second, every minute, every hour. It's not specific. Adverbs of definite frequency come at the end of a sentence. For example, I watch TV daily. The daily is the adverb of definite frequency. So it came at the end of a sentence. Can you give me more words that shows adverbs of definite frequency? Yearly, monthly, every week. Very good, you have done well. Now, adverbs of indefinite frequency comes in the middle of a sentence. Adverbs of indefinite frequency come in the middle of a sentence. I always go to school. The always is placed in the middle of the sentence, and it does not give us a specific time that I go to school. Can you give me more examples of adverbs of indefinite frequency? Always, usually, regularly, sometimes. Very good. You have done very, very well. Let's look at adverbs of definite frequency in sentences. 1. Most companies pay taxes yearly. I brush my teeth twice daily. They meet every week. We receive our salaries monthly. Now try to identify the adverbs of frequency, definite frequency, in the sentences that I just read. Let's say the first sentence. Most companies pay taxes yearly. Can you identify the definite adverbs of frequency over there? Good. Yearly. Yearly. The second sentence. I brush my teeth twice daily. What is the adverb of definite frequency there? Daily. Daily. They meet every week. They meet every week. Every week is a definite adverb of frequency. We receive our salaries monthly. We receive our salaries monthly. Monthly is the adverb of definite frequency. We realize that all the sentences ended with definite adverb of frequency. So like we said before, it comes at the end of a sentence. So all the definite frequency that we mentioned in the sentence came at the end of the sentence. Very good. And all the words that we use pointed out the specific number of times an action is performed. Now let's see sentences with indefinite adverb of frequency. The first sentence, we usually go to the movies on Sunday. We usually go to the movies on Sunday. I will never be an actor. I will never be an actor. Mr. Edu is always late for work. Mr. Edu is always late for work. Good. Now let's try and identify the indefinite frequency in the sentences that we just read. The first sentence, we usually go to the movies on Sunday. What word in the sentence is pointing out adverb of indefinite frequency? Usually. Usually. Good. The next sentence, I will never be an actor. Never. Never. Very good. The last sentence, Mr. Edu is always late for work. Always. Always. All the words that we identified in the sentences are indefinite adverbs of frequency, and they are placed in the middle of the sentence. Good. So today we have looked at adverbs of frequency. We got to know the two types of adverbs of frequency. That is, indefinite adverb of frequency and then definite adverb of frequency. We have seen the examples under each of them and their position in sentences. Get more of these words and use them in sentences, bearing in mind their position. The definite adverbs of frequency comes at the end of a sentence. The indefinite adverbs of frequency is placed in the middle of a sentence. Be good children. I will see you again. Bye.